I don't know how many of you have heard about the YouTube channel Hooked Catfish, but his fishing buddy is Ryan, and this reel here belongs to Ryan. Ryan got some kind of problem with this reel and he asked Hooked Catfish to ask me if I can help him with the reel. And I decided to help him. I usually don't fix other people's reels. But I'm familiar with this reel and I was curious what the problem is and I decided to do it. Now he told me he has problem with the reel handle going back. Let's see if I can reproduce this on camera. Oh wow. Now this particular reel has seen a lot of miles. I don't know how much you can tell on camera. I mean, it has been banked. I already cleaned it, so it's kind of clean. But I mean, it's banked all around, okay? And it feels very, very rough. I'm gonna put a microphone up close to, hopefully you can hear the gears. But yeah, it feels very rough. But I know Ryan needs this reel, so I'm gonna do my best to, first of all, to fix the actual problem and then service it so he can get the most miles out of it before he has to part with it. And Ryan, when you do part with it, don't throw the whole reel. Keep the handle, okay? I can give you $20 for the handle alone.
What happened? Your nail is broken. Yes.
Don't cough here.
Wow. Look. Egg. Egg. Oh, that's a fishing on this fishing fish. No, that's a fishing wheel. Wow. What's this, Dada? What is this, Dada?
That's a spool.
How? Wow. It's a spool.
Now here is why I said even the gears of this reel are not impressive. This is a 7,000 size reel. Look at this main gear. 32 millimeters. This is what I mean. This is a small gear. Okay, this is a small gear. I know people are thinking I'm buying the 7,000 size and this is a catfish reel, right? What is it? I can read it right here. So they're getting this big chunk of metal in their hand and they think they got a strong reel, but they don't. The gears are pretty small, okay? This Cast King capstan here, okay, is cheaper than the Abu Garcia, and I know it's Cast King and I don't have much good to say about the rest of the Cast King products. But this reel here, I'm here to tell you, has bigger and stronger gears than this thing, okay? And the body, even though it's graphite and this is metal, the body is stronger than this Abu Garcia too. And I can say the exact same thing about the Daiwa Lexa 300. Much bigger gears despite being a low profile reel. This thing is comfortable, you can hold it in your hand, you can even cast, and you still have more power with this thing than what people perceive as a Catfish reel. But looking at this gear here, actually I don't see much wear on the teeth. Okay, so I don't know, Ryan, I don't think you have caught very many fish with it. I don't see wear on the teeth, buddy, even though the reel felt very rough. Maybe it's dirty, maybe after we clean it we're gonna find some piece of dirt somewhere and it will feel smoother, because the gears look fine. Very interesting, the sleeve for the anti-reverse doesn't want to come out. I don't see anything that's holding it, but it won't come out. And I don't want to force it because it doesn't need to come out. But let me show you the drag discs. The drag discs, I don't know if you can see. Let me get an angle with some light. Okay. The drag discs actually look very high quality. Yeah, I'm surprised. The drag discs are very high quality. They're completely dry. Maybe I can lubricate them a little bit. But they're very small. Okay, so you don't even have as much drag power as... You definitely don't have as much drag power as the Capstan or the Daiwa Lexa. I mean, those things had huge carbon discs like this. Cal's grease. Okay, folks, I don't know how much you can see, but I did gently grease all of the drag discs. I personally prefer the feel of drag without grease. But on these bottom fishing reels, because I just don't want to mess with them, and the feeling is not that important when you hold something so big. I just want to know that the drag discs are gonna last a long time. So at least with the grease, I know that this disc will outlive this reel now. Okay, folks, let's get to the actual problem, which is this guy here. The anti-reverse clutch. First of all, let me say I have seen a lot of these kind of reels. This is a reel that you can find on eBay with, I don't know, 100 different names and colors, and they're all the same frame and the same gears inside. And I thought it was the same reel, but it's not exactly the same reel. Okay, so the Abu version does appear to have a couple of better parts. First of all, these gears are not the same as the Chinese gears I saw. Okay, I don't know if they're better or worse, but the color is darker yellow. It looks like it has more copper. And also this bearing here is not a bearing I have seen in the cheap Chinese reels either. This does appear to be a higher quality bearing. Usually these bearings, the body is plastic inside, but this one appears to be metal. So this does appear to be a higher quality anti-reverse bearing than the ones on eBay. Back to the problem here with the slipping. You can tell this thing is ridiculously over-greased. So obviously this grease is causing some slippage. This is the first time I see the bearing is pressed into the side plate. Now if you have sophisticated tools, you can press the bearing out and buy another one if you can. I think they sell them. I think I saw that you can buy the bearing only. But I don't have the tools to press and remove bearings. So the only way for me to replace this bearing is to buy the entire side plate. I couldn't even find this side plate. Now I know this reel is identical with the other C3 7000 models, so you can just buy a side plate from another reel and put it here, but then you're gonna have one side orange and one side red, which would look ridiculous. On top of that, this sleeve here that the bearing runs on, I don't know if you can see. I don't know. But okay, it is smooth. It doesn't have any scratches, but it is a little bit worn. Okay. Now the sleeve costs only $4, but I can't take it out. It is stuck. Again, I don't want to bang this reel. That's why I don't fix more reels. There is always some problems that if it's my reel, okay, I bang it. If something breaks, I throw it in the garbage, but I can't do this with someone else's reel. So this sleeve costs only $4. You can see where it's worn out. But I can't replace it either. But it's very smooth and shiny, and I don't think it is a problem yet. So I think the right thing to do for this reel is just, I already cleaned the gears perfectly, just degrease the bearing as much as I can. And it's gonna slip less than before, maybe even none. Maybe it's gonna slip, it's not gonna slip at all. And then if it does slip a little bit, rely on the backup stopper to prevent backlashes. So you should still be okay. I already cleaned the gears. I mean, I cleaned these gears absolutely perfectly. Okay, there is no dust left on these gears. I'm gonna put high quality lube, this Aqua Shield stuff, the green stuff I'll show you, which will improve the smoothness of this reel greatly and the longevity, okay? So we're gonna clean everything. I found a lot of dust on the lip of the spool, which probably was the reason for the rough grinding feeling. So we're gonna clean the spool, we're gonna clean the frame. The other side plate looks just surprisingly clean, no dirt. And I'm actually gonna leave the original grease. I like this blue grease. I will clean the oscillation worm though. You can tell it's just full of black. The grease looks really dirty. So the oscillation worm itself looks in good condition, no wear, but it's very dirty. So I'm just gonna clean it and put new grease and put it back. Look at this. This is what I'm talking about. This is clean. Let's put some high quality grease here. I'm gonna put some of this Shimano grease here and put it back. Okay, check this out. I flushed both bearings with TSI 321. This is the best stuff for bearings in my opinion. And you can see the oil went, even though it's a shielded bearing, it went to, I used excess oil, I just let it flush through the balls and go on the other side. And I did the same thing with this bearing as well, even though you can't see it, but yeah, I cleaned it, I flushed it with 321, so I think both bearings should have much better performance now and maybe cast a little bit further, who knows. By the way, I almost forgot, but this is without a doubt the cheapest centrifugal brake in all of fishing. You can buy a $5 Chinese reel on eBay. I promise you, you will not find a cheaper centrifugal brake. Alright folks, this is much better I believe. Degreased it as much as I could. Hopefully this doesn't slip. Let's put it together and see what's going on. This is what this new grease looks like. You gotta be very careful to put it only on the teeth of the gears and not anywhere else, otherwise it'll be a mess. Yeah, this will stay on the teeth forever. The teeth will outlast this reel. That's all you need, folks. One last drop in the reel to make sure we never lose the handle. Okay, folks, so the reel is done and I already spent some time testing it. And the problem with the back slipping appears to be done. It doesn't mean that the problem cannot come back. I mean, the reel does have a lot of miles on it. But honestly, I don't think the problem will come back because this, when I inspected the bearing, it looked like a high quality bearing and it's pretty dry now, so I don't think this problem will come back. The reel is definitely smoother now, smoother and quieter. And I can even, when I spin it, I can even tell, if you have experience with this, you can tell too, there is still grease between the teeth of the gears. And I love this feeling of, you know, fresh grease between the teeth. So yeah, the reel feels definitely better now and definitely much better than before. However, make no mistake, this is still a rough feeling reel. I think it was rough, in my opinion, it was rough, brand new out of the box. I know it gets 5-star reviews everywhere. Everybody says smooth like butter, but I don't know what other reels these people have tried. But yeah, this is right now still a rough feeling reel. I think the reasons are everything in this reel has too much free play, and these plastic gears over here on the left side that guide the level wind. Every other metal component inside this reel was in great shape. The gears, the level wind, everything had very little wear, but these plastic gears, they do wear and you start to feel and even hear them. This reel cannot compare to any kind of Daiwa, even if it's cheaper, any kind of Shimano. It cannot even compare, I keep coming back to it, to the new Cast King capstan. So yeah, I do not recommend these reels. I mean, in my opinion, at the MSRP of $140, these are a total ripoff. I mean, this is just borderline immoral to charge this kind of money for this reel that doesn't have one good component. It has only 2 bearings, small gears, flimsy frame, full of free play everywhere. And in this kind of price range, $140, $150, you have some really nice high quality reels. The Daiwa Lexa 300, amazing reel. The Cast King capstan I mentioned, also amazing reels. You have these low profile Okuma reels too. Everybody loves them. I never fell in love with those, but they do not feel as sophisticated as a Daiwa or the Cast King, but they are a lot better than this thing here. I mean, anything in this price range will be better than this. Even if this reel cost only $100, I would still not recommend it just because it doesn't have anything nice inside. It feels like crap and rattles. So that's it. You know, if you disagree with my opinion on the reel, hopefully at least you got some pointers on how to service this reel yourself. If you have any questions for me, leave them down below. I do answer all my questions and I'll be happy to help you if you have questions about servicing the reel. And yeah, this is all I have. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.